Do you sometime ask this question, why is this happening to me? Let's deep dive in this episode. The question, why is this happening to me, is perhaps the most heavy, echoing thought a human being can have. It hits us in the quiet moments, right after a breakup, a diagnosis, or a sudden loss. It feels intensely personal, like a targeted strike from the universe. But if you could see the thought bubbles of the people around you, you would realize this isn't a solitary confinement. You are feeling isolated, but you are not alone in this feeling. We are wired to believe in a transactional universe. We think, I was good, so I deserve good, or I worked hard, so I deserve the reward. When life breaks this contract, we feel cheated. But nature, fate, and circumstance do not sign contracts. The rain falls on the just and the unjust alike. Understanding that life is not always a meritocracy is the first painful step toward releasing the bitterness of why. Your brain is a survival machine designed to find patterns. It wants a cause for every effect. When tragedy strikes without a clear reason, your mind spins in overdrive trying to find the error in the code. You replay memories, searching for the mistake you made. Often, there is no mistake. There is no hidden pattern. There is just a collision of complex variables that had nothing to do with your worth as a person. Asking why me keeps us stuck in the victim trap. It assumes that we are the passive recipient of the universe's malice. While it is true that you did not choose this pain, staying in the why keeps you looking backward. It keeps you focused on the unfairness of the past rather than the potential of the present. It is a valid place to visit, but a terrible place to live. We often mistake chaos for conspiracy. We think the universe is plotting against us, when in reality entropy is just doing its job. Things break, cells mutate, markets crash, people change. It is not personal persecution. It is the raw, unpolished mechanics of existence. Acknowledging chaos doesn't take the pain away, but it removes the sting of believing you were specifically targeted. We tell ourselves stories about how our lives are supposed to go. We write the script in our heads, the career, the partner, the timing. When reality goes off script, we panic. We mourn the loss of the story we wrote more than the reality of what we have. Why is this happening? Is often code for why isn't my story going according to plan. It's time to put down the old script so you can read the new page. No one wants to be tested. We all prefer comfort. Yet if you look back at your life, the moments of profound growth rarely happened on the sunny days by the pool. They happened in the trenches. This pain you are feeling is a forge. It is heat and pressure. It feels destructive right now, but it is capable of tempering you into something harder, sharper, and more resilient than you were before. We live our lives with our nose pressed against the canvas of time. We see only the immediate smudge of darkness. We lack the temporal distance to see the composition. Things that seemed like curses 5 years ago often reveal themselves as necessary detours today. You cannot see the full picture yet. You are judging the whole journey by one difficult mile. In Japan, there is an art form called kintsugi, where broken pottery is repaired with gold. They don't hide the cracks. They illuminate them. They believe the piece is more beautiful for having been broken. You feel broken right now, but you are actually in the process of becoming more complex, more deepened, and more unique. Your scars will eventually become the most interesting parts of your story. There is a moment where grief must turn into agency. You have asked, why, 1,000 times, and the answer hasn't changed the situation. The more powerful question is, what? What do I do now? What can I control? What is the next right move? Shifting from why is this happening to me to how do I respond to this is the moment you take your power back from the void. Our brains are addicted to causality. We crave a direct link between our actions and our outcomes. If we suffer, we assume we must have pulled a wrong lever somewhere. But science introduces the uncomfortable reality of statistical probability. Sometimes there is no because. Sometimes a genetic mutation or a traffic accident is just a mathematical inevitability in a system with billions of variables. You are not always the victim of a moral consequence. Sometimes you're simply the statistical outlier on the bell curve. This isn't a judgment on your soul. It is merely the impersonal math of the universe. Just an example. Cigarette smoker has approximately a 15 to 30 times higher probability of developing lung cancer or dying from it compared to people who have never smoked. A lifelong smoker may face a lifetime risk of roughly 15% to 20%. A never smoker's risk is significantly lower, typically hovering around 1%. Means that 85% of smokers do not get cancer, whereas 1% can get lung cancer even without smoking. Smoking causes cancers, but there are exceptions. We often reduce the Creator to a cosmic genie. We treat prayer or intention like a transaction. I wish for this, therefore it should happen. When our specific wishes are denied, we feel unloved. But theology teaches that a creator is an architect, not a vending machine. An architect does not alter the structural integrity of a building just because the tenant prefers a different view. Psychologically, getting everything we wish for often leads to stagnation, not happiness. Your conscience understands that some of your unanswered prayers were actually acts of protection. The silence you feel isn't the Creator ignoring your wish. It is the architect sticking to a blueprint that is far more. The most terrifying answer to, why is this happening, is for no reason at all. Nihilism whispers that we are biological accidents on a rock spinning in a silent void. This lack of inherent purpose can feel paralyzing, but there is a liberating flip side to this emptiness. If the universe didn't assign a specific purpose to this pain, then you are free to assign one yourself. Purpose is not always a pre-existing treasure you hunt for. Often it is a structure you must build. You get to decide if this tragedy is a meaningless accident or the foundation of a new mission. The paper is blank, which is scary, but it also means you hold the pen. Buddhism offers a direct answer. This is happening because of dukkha, suffering, which is inherent to existence. It teaches that your pain stems from attachment clinging to the idea that things should be permanent when they are constantly changing. It is not a punishment from a deity, but a result of karma, the complex web of cause and effect spanning lifetimes. The why matters less than the how. Christianity does not promise immunity from pain. In fact, it places suffering at its very center. It teaches that we live in a broken world, but that God is close to the brokenhearted. The answer isn't always a reason, but a presence. Why is this happening? Is answered with the assurance that your pain is not meaningless. Just as the crucifixion preceded the resurrection, your current trial is a crucible for redemption. It is a call to trust that God can weave even the darkest threads of your life into a tapestry of good. In Hinduism, your life is seen through the lens of dharma, duty, and karma. This experience is not a random accident, but a specific lesson your soul, Atman, needs to learn to evolve toward liberation, moksha. You are an eternal being having a temporary human experience. The question, why me? Shifts to understanding that you are exactly where you need to be to balance your cosmic ledger. This hardship is a fire meant to burn away your ego and reveal your true divine nature. Islam views life as a temporary testing ground, dunya. The Quran reminds believers that they will surely be tested with fear, hunger, and loss to see who is patient. Why is this happening? Is answered with tawakkul, perfect trust in Allah's wisdom. It is believed that Allah does not burden a soul with more than it can bear. This difficulty is either a purification of past sins or an elevation of your spiritual rank. Emotions are like weather. They are real, but they are not permanent. The storm you are in feels like it will last forever, because that is the nature of storms, they consume the horizon. But no storm in the history of the earth has lasted forever. This too shall pass. You just have to batten down the hatches and wait for the sky to clear. You might feel weak right now. You might feel like you are crumbling. But the fact that you are still here, still asking questions, still seeking answers, is proof of a strength you aren't giving yourself credit for. Strength isn't about not feeling pain. It's about feeling the pain and keeping your heart open anyway. You are surviving the worst days of your life. That makes you a warrior. So why is this happening to you? Maybe there is no reason. Maybe there are 1,000 reasons, but the answer won't save you. Only action will. The only way out is through. Take one small step, then another. Breathe. The universe is vast, and your life is precious, even in the dark. Walk forward, and trust that the light will find you again. Thank you for watching. See you in next episode.